I know I'm going to get a lot of criticism for saying this, but I stand behind Alec Baldwin and Thomas Binger. Because I sure as hell ain't going to stand in front of them. Welcome back to the High Impact Flicks channel. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody you know. And don't forget, I have a brand new backup channel.
And that link will of course be in the description. Now let's get into this here video.
Do not adjust your screen. I am standing here in the dark with my survival flashlight. So if the power grid goes down or just the electricity goes out for a while during that thunderstorm, you have plenty of lumens to light your way. And with multi-flashing modes, including emergency lights, not to mention an emergency hammer and a seatbelt cutter, it's got everything a survival flashlight should have. That was corny. Don't put that in there. It's powered by the sun. It's got a cool little compass. This thing even has a frickin' lighter. And if your battery's low on your cell phone, this baby will charge it up. The link for your survival flashlight is in the description below. Now, I know a lot of people have weighed in on this, but I wanted to take a crack at it myself. If you're a gun owner, the number one rule that you should know as a gun owner is you never ever point your gun at anybody unless you intend on using it. And you never ever put your finger on the trigger unless you're going to use your firearm. You never ever put your finger on the trigger unless you know that everything's all in the ready, in the clear. You got a green light from all areas. And you never ever, if you're going to have a rule number 3, you never ever let somebody hand you a weapon and then you take their word for whether it's loaded or not. Even if you can visibly see on the outside, oh yeah, there's no magazine, you don't know that there's no bullet in the chamber unless you've cleared the round, unless you've cleared the weapon yourself. If Alec Baldwin has taught us anything, and by the way, I stand behind Alec Baldwin because I'm sure as hell not going to stand in front of him. If Alec Baldwin has taught us anything, you don't trust the person who handed you the gun. You don't trust the person who handed you the gun. You don't operate a gun unless you know what its characteristics are. You know what it's capable of. You don't stick your finger on the trigger. You don't point your gun at anybody ever unless you plan on using it. Unbelievable. So before I even go over what I'm going to go over, and I think you guys know where I'm going to go on this, I want to show you 2 of the counts that the state wanted to prosecute Kyle Rittenhouse for. And you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. Count 2 is first-degree recklessly endangering safety use of a dangerous weapon. Think about this. This carries a 12.5-year prison sentence. First-degree recklessly endangering safety use of a dangerous weapon. This felony charge is connected to the Rosenbaum shooting. McGinnis told investigators he was in the, note this, the line of fire when Rittenhouse shot Rosenbaum. The charge is punishable by 12.5 years in prison. Count number 3 is first-degree recklessly endangering safety use of a dangerous weapon, also in a separate incident. Video shows an unknown man leaping at Rittenhouse and trying to kick him seconds before Anthony Huber moves his skateboard toward him. To bash him in the head, looked like. Rittenhouse appears to fire 2 rounds at the man, but apparently misses as the man runs away. First-degree recklessly endangering safety, first-degree recklessly endangering safety. The state wanted to prosecute Kyle Rittenhouse for recklessly endangering safety use of a dangerous weapon. And then what does the prosecutor who wants to prosecute him for these 2 counts do? He takes the same firearm that was supposed to be used by Rittenhouse, and he with his finger on the trigger, having not verified if the chamber was cleared of any and all rounds, points the weapon, breaking rules number 1, 2, and 3 of gun safety, pointing the firearm, the very same firearm that Kyle Rittenhouse is supposed to have used, that the prosecutor is supposed to put Kyle Rittenhouse away for, engages in recklessly endangering the safety of the jurors. Yeah, there's no magazine, but that does not ensure that there's no round in the chamber.
No magazine means nothing. He's got his finger on the trigger, pointing a firearm, a dangerous weapon, at the jury. When I saw this, he put his water bottle down. He's like, he put down the fire extinguisher, raised his weapon. When I saw it, I was like, what the? I cannot believe it. Every gun owner who knows anything about gun safety had to have cringed. And this is the prosecutor who's going to try to put away Kyle Rittenhouse for the very action that he just did in a courtroom, pointed at the jurors who were supposed to make the decision. Thank goodness there's somebody out there with some kind of common sense, because he received some major pushback from this. It says Twitter users are slamming prosecution lawyer Thomas the Finger Binger in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial for the way he held an AR-15 in the courtroom demonstration. During the closing arguments, Binger wanted to make his case for how, and I understand this is like he's trying to drive the point home, but you don't sacrifice and shelf gun safety to make your point. Can you imagine what would have happened if he accidentally pulled that trigger and there was a round in the chamber? I mean, it seems like Kyle Rittenhouse should teach Alec Baldwin and Thomas Binger a little bit of gun safety. During the closing arguments, Binger wanted to make his case for how Rittenhouse allegedly put people in danger. He's making his case about how Kyle put other people in danger, while the lawyer who's making the case about him putting people in danger puts people in danger. And was not acting in self-defense. Well, neither was Thomas Binger. Thomas Binger was not acting in self-defense during the Kenosha, Wisconsin riots, where the teen is charged with shooting 3 people and killing 2. Instead, all attention shifted to Binger's poor gun discipline. That's being very kind. Calling this a lack of gun discipline is being very kind. Holy cow. Can you imagine what would have happened if he pulled the trigger? Man, if you were in the jury, wouldn't you be like, say down, everybody get down. We got a potential active shooter in the courtroom. Held an AR-15 with his finger on the trigger and pointed it toward the jury. Shooting range in gun shop 717 Armory provides a perfect rundown for the most important rules of gun safety. Quote, the rules of gun safety are to treat every single gun as if it was loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger until you want to shoot your gun. Never aim your gun at anyone or anything you're not willing to kill or destroy, and be mindful of your target and anything or anyone who is behind you, on the side of you, in front of you, possibly above you. Maybe you're at an elevation, maybe below you. You got to have situational awareness. You can't just pick up a gun and just start aiming it everywhere. Whether you agree with the point Binger was trying to make or not, he violated all those rules. Quote, it does not matter if the chamber was cleared and there was no mag inserted, says this guy right here, dismissing anyone possibly excusing the lack of gun safety. Dismissing anyone possibly excusing the lack of gun safety. This guy says, no, it does not matter if the chamber was cleared and there's no magazine inserted. I agree. You can, when you have a firearm, you cannot be too careful. There's no such thing as, oh yeah, that guy's way too careful. No such thing. No such thing. Former National Rifle Association spokesman Dana Lash compared Binger to actor Alec Baldwin, who accidentally fatally shot cinematographer Helena Hutchins last month on the set of Rust. Baldwin's prop gun was supposed to only have blanks, but instead had live bullets inside. Absolute clown. Don't pull a Baldwin, Lash said. This guy says Kenosha DA Kyle Rittenhouse is an irresponsible gun owner putting others at risk. Also Kenosha DA putting people at risk. Regardless of the case itself, this was a completely irresponsible move by Binger. His whole case is centered around firearm safety and reacting appropriately to situations, and this visual made him lose credibility with the public. Hopefully it did. This is beyond shocking, guys. Once the closing arguments concluded Monday, the jury is expected to deliberate and reach a verdict on Rittenhouse's charges. For now, Binger's AR-15 demonstration will continue to be mocked on social media, and well, it should. Well, it should.
Guys, thanks for watching my video. Remember, if you have a gun, learn how to use it and be safe about it. If you guys enjoyed these videos, subscribe to the channel
hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. And don't forget, I do have a brand new backup channel that you'll want to take a look at that's dedicated to holding public servants accountable. That link will be in the description. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.